丰富的经验，也绝大部分拥有教师执照。我们的课程包括有中文入门、初级、中级3等，数学、计算机、英文、英文演讲、写作、西班牙文、绘画等等丰富的课程。我们的春季班从1月10号开始，5月27号结束，总共19周。一般课程1周1堂课，中文课程1周2堂课。如果只选一个课程，125块一个季度，平均下来只要6块5毛8哦。欢迎点击2维码到我们的网页了解详情，或者直接去我们的网站 www.caach.org/store。
Okay. Good morning, everyone. 家长们早上好。我还有继续家长有进入咱们的这次讲座哈。我们讲座现在开始。如果有家长进入呢，那我们就是再让他们随时的加入我们的讲座啊。大家好，家长们好，很感谢家长们用星期六的休息时间来参加我们奇诺港华美协会组织的这次教育讲座。我们这次讲座的题目是中英侵入式教学的项目，对这个项目做一个介绍。因为这个项目是很新的，我们从来在奇诺谷联合学区呢从来没有过，第一次来进行的这个项目。所以呢，家长们都特别兴奋，同时呢，有很多的有很多的就是疑问，我的孩子能不能参加呀？什么样的孩子能参加呀？是哪个学区、哪个学校有这个项目啊？还有以后这个项目要怎么样？是每个年级都有啊？还是只是限于某几个年级啊？还有是用什么的教材啊？等等一系列的这个问题。所以呢，我们华美协会呢，奇诺港华美协会呢，就为家长服务来联系了这个学区， 那学区的有关的部门呢非常支持，那马上就给我回了email。这样的话呢，我们就请到了2位我们学区的主管来给大家做这个解释介绍我们这个项目回答家长的问题。这次呢，我们请到的2位主管呢，是一位是Dr. Preston Carr 卡尔博士。Dr. Carr, you want to wave?
Yes. Hello.
Hi. 另一位呢是我们的 Stacy Ayers 博士 ，Dr. Stacy Ayers。所以他们都利用自己的休息时间来还给大家这个讲解。另外呢，我们还有我们这次的双语翻译田女士也是利用休息时间来给我们大家做这个这次的讲解的这次讲座的翻译，非常感谢啊。那么呢我本人呢也是在学区教书了25年，另外呢在华美协会义工也是多年了，也非常的荣幸能做这个桥梁的这个作用，让更好的为我们的家长来服务所以呢，如果在这个进行的过程是这样的在讲解过程中呢，如果你有问题呢，我跟这2位领导商量，他们说可以随时提问随时提问。如果是你不想提问，想最后再提问的话，也可以把你的问题呢可以发到这个 chat 里面，或者是呢到最后有一个答疑的时间这个我们可以进行提问这个你几种这个提问方式你可以选择所以希望大家呢，大家都是很把这个自己的 speaker 都关掉了，非常感谢大家那么呢，我们这个过程呢是由 Dr. 卡尔博士先来介绍他的管理的项目，然后呢再用我们的主讲Dr. Ayers 博士再来介绍他的这个我们关心的这个双语教育的项目的问题。那么我在Dr. Carr 在上来这个讲解之前呢，我先介绍一下卡尔博士呢从事教育呢已经39年他曾经担任高中的老师、高中的辅导员Dr. Carr, let me introduce you first. Okay. 辅导员在过去11年高中校长的职务在过去的11年呢，卡尔博士担任奇诺谷联合学区替代教育，也就叫 Alternative Education 的主任，并担任学期国际交流项目的主管。近10年呢，卡尔博士与加州州立大学Cal State San Bernardino 合作了很成功的项目。此项目呢，给学生在暑假期间提供了很多荣誉课程和 AP 课程学习的机会那么此外呢，在过去7年中呢，卡尔博士作为学区的官员，前往中国及其他国家进行了教育教学及其管理的交流，为众多的国际学生来奇诺谷学区的学校学习短暂学习或者是交流提供了机会。那么下面我们有请卡尔博士给我们介绍他的项目。Okay, Dr. Carr, you're on. Thank you.
First of all, I'd like to say welcome, and we really appreciate you taking a Saturday out of your busy schedule to take time to hear about some of the district programs. Again, I'm Dr. Preston Carr, and I oversee the international program, and I'm also a director for the online learning and alternative programs.
Dr. Carr, would you like to use Mrs. Tan for translation? She is here in the room with us now.
Sure, she can repeat.
Okay. Mrs. Tan, do you want to come off microphone and introduce yourself real quick as our translator?
We cannot hear you.
Mrs. Tan, your microphone is not working.
Dr. Collins, while she's getting
Okay.
up, can you do the pleasure?
All right. Right. Okay. 非常感谢大家来星期六来参加我们的讲座活动。这位呢，我是卡尔博士。那就现在我介绍一下我所管的项目。
Yes, and so our district, we have at one time we had close to 30,000 students, and so we have 20 elementary schools, 5 junior highs, 2 K through 8s, and 4 comprehensive high schools. So we have a program now from pre-K to 12th grade.
OK， 所以呢，我们前几年我们大约有差不多3万的学生，那么我们有20所这个小学，然后5所初中，然后2所呢是从学前班一直到8年级的学校，然后有4所呢高中，然后呢还有一个就是继续学习的学校。那么这是我们学校的这个就是群诺谷学区的简介。
So we also like when we share our international program, we like to highlight California and what the students can take advantage of when they come to the United States.
OK， 那么我们做国际项目呢，我们还介绍加州的一些情况啊。
Okay, and we have shared different programs that we get involved with the international program. Not only do students come here, but we also take teachers and we do training in China. And so we've had the experience of doing that, and I'll share a couple of those highlights with you.
我们不仅是接收国际学生，另外呢，我们的老师呢也到其他的国家，比如中国呢，做一些暑期的活动。
And we always point out, our location right here in Chino, because everybody likes to come along this coastline that are interested in our F1 international program.
OK， 那呢，我们在讲解我们的这个学校的这些学区的情况时呢，我们特别的注重讲我们学区的这个地理位置是非常优势的，在美丽的加州在海边的城市。
Of course, when we travel, we share all the different schools that we have and give them the name so they can see a little taste of American culture, Western culture here.
所以我们呢也介绍我们学区的这些学校的一些多少是学校的这个情况。
And our students, we just showed a little bit more pre-pandemic what we used to show in China, so they like seeing the school culture.
对，在疫情之前呢，我们也介绍我们现在就是美国学校的一些情况，尤其是我们奇诺谷学区的这个学校的一些设置和一些学习的情况。
We share the city that we live in and some of the highlights in the city.
OK， 这是我们所居住的城市的情况。
And also Chino Hills.
OK.
Okay. And we like to let them know clearly that we are F1. We're back open this year. Last 2 years, we didn't take any international students. And for this year, we've already signed up 8 students, pretty much from Germany, Sweden. And so we haven't had any students from China yet this year, but we were open to that as well.
OK， 所以呢，就是疫情期间呢，我们几乎2年没有这个国际交流生。那今年呢，我们已经开放了，就是学生的这个学生签证。现在今年呢，差不多有8个学生主要是从欧洲过来的，现在还没有具体从国内还没有学生。
Just checking in, Miss Tan, how you doing out there? We have any audio yet? With quick tests.
Ms. Tan, you might want to try to call in using your phone, and then we can see your video, and then we can use voice through a phone potentially.
Okay. While she's doing the technical part, we take a look at our high schools that we have in the district, and I'm sure you're already familiar with that.
OK， 这是我们的几所高中，这是我们2所高中，2所是4所，其中2所。
And we like to share the different highlights that goes on in our schools when we're out traveling or entertaining the thought of students coming to the USA.
那么我们在跟国际生也介绍这些学校的情况，我们的不同的活动啊。
And we show the academies that we have.
这是我们不同的这个特殊的这些项目，像工程还有是一些其他的我们特别像 biochemical 啊这些工程的和其他的项目。
And this was actually, we was really proud of this group. This was a big group that we brought in from Tianjin. Dr. Collins and I personally met this group a few years in advance before they came to USA, but they were highly successful. So she'll tell you a little bit about that group.
OK， 这是3年前从天津来的30名学生啊，就是我们整个这个学校过来，然后在Don Local High School， 在我所在的学校来进行完成了学业，并且非常成功的深入了各个不同地方、不同州的不同的学校，还是非常成功的案例。
So they did all graduate, and so what we do to help students to many times to extend their education, we do have a partnership with Cal State San Bernardino, and that's coming up for this school year. So I think April, which you can find it on our on the alternative education page. The meeting that's coming up in April the 5th. It's an informational meeting, but this is a big program that we run, showing all the different AP classes, math, science, social science, language arts, all the different AP that we usually run that during the summer.
OK， 刚才介绍了卡尔博士主要是管替代教育和国际项目。那替代教育呢，就是他很成功的一个项目，就是跟Cal State San Bernardino 的合作啊。他就是有暑期呢，我们有线上课程，线上课程呢很多是为孩子想超前就提供的荣誉课程和 AP 课程。所以呢，我们的就是information session 呢，是4月5号，跟各个家长呢，就是通知家长，如果有兴趣呢，可以参加我们的 meeting 啊，有这样，具体信息呢，你可以跟在学区的网上，或者是 alternative education 替代教育的网站，能得到。
And our ultimate goal is for students to graduate from high school, and they want to learn their pathway to college. So we try to work with the students in that regards to show all the UCs and the CSUs and how to get into our colleges and universities.
OK， 所以我们的宗旨呢，学习宗旨是让每个学生有潜力的学生都能够升入大学。那我们也介绍很多我们这个加州的州立学校2个学校的系统的学校。
Okay, and you will find on our website more about the international program. And here's the counselor that worked with us in the past 2 years. She's still transitioning now to the program, but that's the international program in home.
OK， 像我们的国际这个项目呢，大家如果家长有兴趣，或者家长自己的亲属有兴趣的话，直接可以跟网站联系，或者是跟就是替代教育这边的这个部门联系啊，就具体的这个国际交流的项目。
Okay, the next few slides, I'm just going to show you some of our visits in China. They have been breathtaking, and I learned a lot about China, and I really appreciate the assistance with Dr. Collins and assisting us in doing this. And so this has been a breathtaking experience. So this has been our experience for the last 5-6 years.
Okay. 这个就是我们在学区的老师去国内去一些夏令营的一些活动啊，这个非常收获很大啊，不管是老师们呢，还是国内的学生们也是都会很大的收获。
And the teacher training, this was fun. They actually came here, and this was in USA, and I think Dr. Collins, this was your project, so you could probably talk more about that.
这是我们天津的学区不同的这个学区的老师来做这个 STEM training， 在我们这个奇诺谷学区啊，这个他们的把他学到的跟国内的一些教学的相结合，带到国内去实行，哎，非常的有收获的一次培训。
And we also did a training in Hebei Province, and just to bring the share cultures So it's been quite an experience on both sides. On both sides.
这是我们在河北省的一些跟那个师范学院的培训啊。
And we like to get awarded a certificate at the end. And we again we try to get those experience on both sides, and so it just makes sure it's reciprocal that although the students come here, but we also try to take our team to China and get those experiences as well.
就是交流嘛，是互相的，不光是国际学生来到我们的学区的学校来学习，那么我们要同时呢带到我们的老师到国内或中国或者其他国家去进行这个交换培训，所以这是一种双赢的，这是。
Okay. I'd like to close with showing you our up and coming $210 million project that's going to be held at. It's going to be the new Chino High School. And it's going to be a biomedical program, and we're looking forward to that program for the communities as well.
现在呢，就是一个就是我们的一个4所高中嘛，其中奇诺就是Chino High School Chino High School 现在呢有个很大的项目，它是biomedical 和这个 engineering 一个项目。那么我们现在也跟学生呢，就是来招生就是也招生通过考试呢进入这个项目，是很兴奋的一件事情啊！希望大家能够知道这个信息，希望大家有兴趣的家长或者学生能参加我们这一次这个学校的到我们这个学校学习啊！我们投入了很多的资金。
Okay, well, thank you very much, and that just a little inside look of our international program, and I again appreciate you all coming out on a Saturday to hear us speak about our district programs.
再次感谢大家能够星期六来参加我们这次活动。卡尔博士主要介绍他的国际项目和他的就是暑假的跟Cal State San Bernardino 的联合的，这是荣誉班和 AP 班的活动和这个项目非常感谢。OK， 那么好 OK， 那么我就现在呢，就是主要的时间呢，交给Ayers 博士来讲解我们的中英双语侵入式教育项目那么在我来先介绍一下，好吧？先介绍一下Stacy Ayer Dr. Stacy Ayers 博士Ayer 博士呢，从事教育呢25年，他曾经6年担任那个教师，然后呢3年呢在县教育办公室做顾问，6年呢在学区部门当主任，然后10年呢是做校长10年他目前的职位是奇诺谷公平教育部，他这公平教育就是 Access and Equity 公平教育部的主任。他所领导的公平教育部呢，负责识别学区的双语学生哪个学生是双语学生，并帮助他们获得双语国家印章另外呢，他还负责其他有关英语是非母语学生的英文学习项目。目前呢，他在指导和协助学区的 Hidden Trails 小学开设中英双语浸入式课程项目。Ayers 博士呢，还曾经担任加州理工大学就是分校，就是 Cal Polytech Pomona 的兼职教授。曾为中国教育管理人员进行专业的培训，非常感谢那么有请Dr. Stacy Ayer。Okay, Dr. Stacy Ayer, you are. Thank you.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here with all of you today. I want to check on our translator, Mrs. Tan, to find out if her microphone is working.
Hi, do you hear me right now?
Yes, perfect.
I have to use my phone to use it. Sorry about that.
That's okay. We're glad that you're here. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, 你好，我叫皮亚拉灿，我是在Country Spring 里面做bilingual课，所以今天我会就会翻译一些中文的，如果你有什么问题的话，我可以翻译到中文给你们的。好，谢谢。
Perfect. Thank you. Let me get my screen sharing working. Okay, hopefully you're seeing that up on our screen. It's a pleasure to be able to share with you about our new multilingual academy pathways, which we call MAP for short, in the Chino Valley Unified School District. It is our intent to grow our dual language immersion programs, and we are starting with one this fall, which will be at Hidden Trails in the Mandarin language. So Mrs. Tan, if you want to kind of summarize after each slide, and we'll even pause for questions too.
OK， 好，Dr. Eric 他很高兴，就是他今年就是有一个双语的学校，就是在我们的 Hidden Trail 里面，就是第一次我们在这个学库里面，所以很高兴就是有这个 program， 它的这 program 就是叫 Multilingual Academy Pathway， 短写就是 MAP。如果你有什么问题的话，我会介绍，就是我会停下来，就会再答你的问题，好吗？谢谢。
So just out of courtesy today, our Zoom etiquette is your microphones are muted for the courtesy of our speakers today, but the chat feature is available to be able to communicate with us at any time. And you are welcome to ask questions throughout the presentation today.
OK， 请你们关掉你们的 microphone， 还有在 chat room 里面，你有什么问题的话，你可以在 chat room 里面写下来，我们就会答你的问题。好，谢谢。
So Dr. Carr already had the opportunity to present, and he has been pivotal in our launch of our dual language immersion program. I am Dr. Stacey Ayers, as mentioned before, the Director of Access and Equity, and translating for me today is Piata Tan, our bilingual clerk at Country Springs.
刚刚我们都已经介绍到 Dr. Carr， 还有我们现在就是 Dr. Eric， 他就是在我们的 Director of Access and Equity， 还有我是 Piata， 我是坐在 Country Springs 里面是双语的bilingual clerk。
And so my intent today is to talk to you about 4 things. We are going to talk about the mission of our dual language immersion program that we are launching, and what exactly does that dual language immersion program look like at Hidden Trails. I will share with you about the open enrollment process. If you have anyone who is interested in having your child participate. And then I will also share some additional resources in case you would like to learn more about dual language immersion programs on your own.
好，在这个会议我们会讲就是4个东西，就是什么是我们的 mission 是要应募，还有为什么我们会有这个双语的课程在我们的 Hidden Trail 里面，还有他会介绍我们怎么登记的过程，还有什么是有什么志愿。
So we are very excited that we are opening our very first dual language immersion program. This will be the first one in San Bernardino County that is Mandarin and a 90-10 model, which I will be sharing about what that is. And we are opening for entering kindergartners. So kindergartners who are starting this coming school year, we will be admitting 48 students at Hidden Trails to participate in an AM and PM kindergarten session. And it's the intent of the program over their 6 years in elementary to be exposed to simplified as well as traditional Chinese.
好，在这个 Hidden Trail 里面，我们会在这个双语的课程，就是我们会有简体字跟繁体字的，还有我们是在从幼稚園開始的，就是第一次在我們這個 San Bernardino 的 district 裡面是第一次有這個課程，就是雙語的課程，但是我們會在幼稚園開始的。
And we do have students that we are enrolling here that live in the Chino Valley area as well as students that will be on a transfer from other districts into our program.
还有我们在这个缺库里面就已经有48个小孩子，就是读这个就会已经想登记到我们这个学校里面做一个双语的，还不是在我们的缺库，还有别的缺库也是转过来去上这个双语的课程。
So introducing you a little bit to Hidden Trails staff. The principal there is Lisa Sura, if you ever wanted to reach out and ask questions specifically of the school site. The assistant principal there is Brian Lee, and the Mandarin translator or bilingual clerk, similar to Mrs. Tan, who is here with us, is Carol Sin. And Hidden Trails is a wonderful place to send your children. They are a California Distinguished School, and more importantly, they are a National Blue Ribbon School. This is a very special honor across the state of California to receive this achievement. And they also have been recognized as a silver awardee in the PBIS coalition, which has to do with having a safe and respectful school site.
我们就是要介绍一下我们在 Hidden Trail 里面，我们还有我们的家长，他叫 Lisa Sarah， 如果你有什么问题，你可以找他。还有我们有一个副家长，他叫 Brian Lee， 还有我们也有一个中文翻译的，他叫 Carol， 就是跟我一样可以翻译到中文。还有在 Hidden Trail 里面，他的学校是很好的，因为他已经有你看到我们已经有2个章，一个就是 National Blue Ribbon， 还有我们还有一个 California PBS 的家，是不是他们是一个很好的学库。
And so talking a little bit about Chino Valley Unified School District's dual language program mission, it is our intent for launching this program with our entering kindergartners that we will provide them with a enriching and challenging educational opportunity. The students that participate in this program will learn to read, write, and communicate at high academic levels in Mandarin as well as in English, and will achieve academic success in all content areas. And students will develop the biliteracy skills and the cross-cultural skills and competencies needed to succeed in our multicultural society and global economy.
还有你要看到我们在这个双语的课程里面，每一个小孩子都也会得到就见到我们的教育的机会，还有他们会用中文跟英文，他们会阅读写作还是怎么样去交流不同的成绩，还有我们会达到不同的文化，在我们他们会得到不同的文化在一起的。
So even though we are starting at the kindergarten level this year, it is our intent to grow every year in a grade level. So the following year, we will add first grade. So as the students move up, then they will move into second grade, and then it will become a K-2 program, and so on up through sixth grade at Hidden Trails. And then we will be launching junior high and high school programs.
我们会就是现在我们就是在幼稚园里面，还有我们会为幼稚园他读好了，他就去1年级、2年级、3年级到6年级，还有在我们也希望到中学也可以选到这个双语的课程。
So we have to ask, what exactly is dual language immersion programs? They actually existed mostly in Canada up until 2000, and now they are really catching fire here in the United States, specifically in the state of California. Research has shown that it is an effective program for students to develop a high literacy in English as well as a partner language. As mentioned before, the program we're launching currently is Mandarin, but it is our intent in the future to also launch a Spanish dual language immersion program. Students participating in dual language immersion perform higher on state assessments and have higher college going rates and have more career opportunities. And the English speakers in the class acquire Mandarin without risk to their academic achievement and English proficiency.
为什么你们会觉得双语对小孩子好？就是因为你可以看到我们在 research 里面都看到，就是如果他们学校可以有2个不同的 language， 就是英文跟中文也是就是可以评估到他们学习的时候的很高，还有他们的成绩也很好的，所以这个为什么你们要选择有双语的课程，对小孩子也是很好，因为他们觉得他们文化还是什么课程也是没问题的，他们也可以得到很高的毕业水准的。
So we also might ask, why is it beneficial to be a part of a dual language immersion program? And we know that it's necessary for the students that are growing up in America to have the skills necessary to be able to communicate in a global economy. It is a key priority for us to have language in our own culture as well as in other cultures. It's important for us to have knowledge around languages across the world. And we need to give our students here in Chino Valley the necessary skills to be able to support international cooperation. The research on cognition demonstrates that the human brain is more open to linguistic development at a young age. And so here on this slide, it shows the research that has come out of CARLA, the Center for Advanced Research on Language Acquisition, or the University of Minnesota.
好，你们会看到为什么对这个很 benefit 有益的，就是因为每个小孩子如果他从小的开始去读不同的语言的方面，会对他的很好他的成绩也很好，对他将来也很好的，所以这个就是有一点点就是他们有一个 University of Minnesota， 就是说为什么他们读那个双语是对他们很好的。
And so our goals for the program is for students to achieve in all academic subject areas, to develop fluency in communication and literacy in Mandarin and English at a high level, to cultivate an understanding and appreciation of other cultures, especially here in our Chino Valley community, and to expand their worldviews of students to include knowledge of and respect for the customs and experiences of others.
在这个双语的计划的目标，你们看到我们会得到，还有开发，还有什么培养他们的他们培养他们的，还有我们要怎么去看待这个目标。
So as I mentioned before, we are going to be the first 90-10 model of instruction for Mandarin in the San Bernardino County. Here it explains what the 90-10 model looks like. In kindergarten and first grade, 90% of the instructional day will be taught in Mandarin and 10% of the instructional day will be taught in English. In second grade, you can see that the English portion increases to 20% and the Mandarin portion decreases by 10. And this pattern continues all the way up until 5th and 6th grade, where the model becomes a 50-50, meaning that half of the day is spoken in Mandarin and half the day is spoken in English.
好，这个就是我们课程的模式，就是在我们的幼稚园里面，90%就是讲中文，10%就是讲英文的。你看到1年级也是，2年级就是80%到20%就是讲英文的。我们这样子就是每一次都是你就会知道是他们会用的，就是一半就是讲中文，一半是讲英文的模式。
There are other program models out there that start with 50-50 and remain at 50-50 for the entire elementary time. We chose the 90-10 model in Chino Valley because the research supports that this is the most effective model for the students to leave elementary school completely bilingual and biliterate.
你会看到有别的学校，它会用不同的模式，就是50%就是中文， 中文的，还有50%是英文的。但是我们这个学校已经学库，我们已经找到一些的 research， 就是觉得90%跟选中文跟10%讲英文的是对他们成绩会比较好一点。
So this is an example of what the schedule would look like in relation to all of the academic studies. In kindergarten, as mentioned before, 90% of the day would be in all content areas, and the 10% of time would be used for English language development. This is where a teacher would be making connections to the Chinese curriculum that's being taught for the rest of the day. And this will actually be taught by a totally different teacher. The intent is that the classroom teacher who speaks Mandarin will speak Mandarin 100% of the time to the students. The students will never hear her speaking English. And the intent of that is to create that full immersion experience. So the 10% of the instruction in English will be done by a different teacher.
你就会看到我们就是有这个，就是他每一天小孩子要上什么课，90%就是全部的，就是中文的。你要看到有数学啊，还有我们的体力啊，还是怎么样。还有他们的老师，如果是中文老师，他们全部100% 都是跟他们讲中文的。还有10%就是他们的英文老师是另外一个英文老师教他们，也是会说就是用不同的老师跟他们说英文，所以在这个里面就是他们中文的老师全部都会跟他们讲中文的。
So you can see as the Mandarin instruction goes throughout the grade levels, by the time we get to 6th grade, the students have language arts in both languages. Social studies remains in Mandarin. That is the subject that will remain in Mandarin the entire time.
因为还有你们都看到，当他们的6年级跟5年级里面，他们50%就是全部都是中文的，只有这个课3个课。还有我们也会放他们的 social study 里面，也是在中文的课50%，不是在英文里面的。
So these are just some pictures of the kindergarten classrooms at Hidden Trails. Hidden Trails is actually going through a very large modernization project right now. And so we are actually looking forward to some wonderful renovations that we'll be able to share pictures of in a few months.
这个就是一些照片，就是在我们的 Hidden Trail 里面，他们的幼稚园在学校里面的课的照片，还有他们在未来，他们也会都会改变一些他们的房间，他们会有什么，他们就会再跟你们讲一下。
And this next slide is a sample daily classroom schedule. Our school district is actually going through some changes when it comes to school start times and end times. So this just gives you an example of the kindergarten schedule that will be happening in AM and PM. Our kindergartens in Chino Valley are partial day, with if the school day started around 8:20, 8:30, there would be a dismissal around 12:20, or if the day started around 11:40 for our afternoon kindergartners, then there would be a dismissal around 3:40. And you can see how throughout the day, how the subject areas are divided up and where the snack and recess schedule may be. Just kind of gives you an idea of what your child would be learning throughout the time that they are with us.
还有这个就是我们这个 sample 的，他每一天上课的课程的时间表，但是我们可能开学的时候会有变动，因为我们现在还知道是我们学库里面他们开学的时间也是有变动。你要看到我们是有早上跟下午的幼稚园，所以早上的课就是在8点20分到12点20分。你要看到他们会有不同的，有什么课他已经 跟你讲就是讲出来，就是有英文啊、中文啊还是怎么样。下午也是一样，我们是开始是11:40到3:40，但是时间可能会变动，到时候他们会再给你一个新的时间表。
So now I'm going to share with you a little bit about our application process or our open enrollment process that you can share with families and friends about the timelines associated with enrolling your child who might be entering kindergarten into a dual language immersion program. So at this point, our application process is still open and we are taking students on the waiting list. At this point, all 48 spots have been filled. However, if any families change their mind or move over the summer, then we would be looking to the waiting list to be able to fill those vacancies.
还有这个就是我们很简单，就是跟你讲是什么定期到我们这个双语的课程，但是现在我们已经满了，但是我们还有一个 waiting list， 你可以，如果你很想到我们这个双语的课程里面，你还可以登记，但是我们会放在那个 waiting list 里面，因为有时候他们在summer 的时候，就是夏天的时候，他们可能有一些小朋友，他们家长觉得他不想上那个双语的课，所以他们就放弃他那个登记，所以我们就会拍那个在我们的 waiting list 里面，就会把他们的名字就是放在我们的登记里面。
So if you have a child who will be in preschool this coming school year and will be starting kindergarten the following school year in 23-24, this is the timeline that you would want to be thinking about if you would like your child to be part of the dual language immersion program. We actually start accepting applications for open enrollment between November and December 3rd of this year for the following school year. We will take 48 more students that will be selected for the kindergarten school year in 23-24. And we run 2 separate lotteries. We look at the students who are dominant in a Mandarin language and students who are dominant in English or another language separately, because it is the intent to fill the classroom with students who are Mandarin dominant equally with English dominant students. So 50-50, so that they have the opportunities to learn from each other. Then we will hold a lottery in January each year at around 8:30 the week that we come back from holiday break. And at that point, families will receive a lottery number. And you don't have to be in person. Those lottery numbers will be mailed home as well. And then based on your lottery number, acceptance letters will be sent out the following week, again, for the first 48 spots. Siblings do need an application if they would like to request a transfer to Hidden Trails so that both students can be at the same school site. And out-of-district residents will be accepted on a waitlist process after we accept our Chino Valley Unified students first.
OK， 就是很简单，就是跟我们讲一下怎么去登记的过程。就是每一年，就是如果你有学生，就是你的小孩子在2023到2024要读的幼稚园，我们会在开放登记的，就是在我们的11月份到12月3号中间，你们就可以申请我们的双语的表格。还有我们会选18个小孩子在我们这个双语的课程，还有你会看到50%，就是我们是用中文的为主的，还有50%就是他们可能会讲英语还是其他的英语，所以我们就会放他们就是同一班的，所以对他们也是很好，因为他们就会可以选到不同的，还有。我们在1月早上的 我们在1月份的时候，我们会用这个超签的，就是超到我们48个小孩子的，还有不是一定要参加节，不是一定要在我们哪一天拿到这个钞票，他们可能会再寄给你的，就是你可以他会寄给你，如果他们抄到你的名字，还有他们会在下周的时候，他们会发一个信给你说，我们已经收到你的小孩子在我们的这个双语的课程。还有如果你们有他们小孩子有姐妹还是怎么样，我们也是会帮他们申请转到我们的学校里面去读的。还有如果你不是在我们的学库里面，我们也是会放他们在候补的名单，但是因为我们现在会收，就是我们在我们的学库里面的小孩子先收，还有我们又有位置的话，我们会再给他们的位置的。
So after the lottery, and this is some of the things that are happening currently for our 48 families that are enrolled. We are holding family tours on the campus. We are also preparing the children for the dual language immersion program through monthly meetings. It's our intent to be able to provide the parents with some intervention opportunities if they feel like their students might be struggling in the Mandarin program once it gets started. It'll be the expectation that families are highly involved if their child is in these classes. And we will be helping the families on the first day of school, help their child get acclimated to the situation of hearing Mandarin all day long. And also help them through the registration process to make sure all of the paperwork has been received for school enrollment.
还有你们会看到我们超签后了时候，就是我们已经收到你们小孩子在我们这个双语里面，我们就会帮你，就是带你们去参加我们的学校，还有我们会准备一些双语的课程给小孩子，还有我们会支持很有困难的学生，还有我们也很想家庭参与在我们这个也会想他们家庭也是会参与在第一天的时候上课的时候，因为我知道他们知道上课第一天可能会有一些困难对他们的语言方面，所以我们都会帮助他们这种，还有他们会注册的过程也是在第一天里面就会介绍是怎么样的。
And I know there was an interest from the group wanting to know a little bit about our planning stages, what we have been doing and what we're planning to do in the future related to dual language and immersion. And so we started the research back in 2017 and had planned to open 2 dual language immersion programs, Hidden Trails for Mandarin and Borba Elementary for Spanish. But because of the pandemic, that was put on pause and delayed. So now we are planning for that opening of Hidden Trails this coming school year, where we will open 2 kindergarten Mandarin classes and then start the conversation again around a Spanish program. And it is our intent that once this cohort of students reaches 6th grade, that we will begin to hire teachers for secondary world language program at the junior high level and launch a program at Canyon Hills. We will be talking more about that with our families that are part of this cohort to understand if they would like to continue in a Mandarin dual language immersion, or if at that point they want to consider a different language so that their child is multilingual. And then it would be the intent to also expand our world language programs at Ayala High School.
你看到我们就是他们这个已经这个专店，他们在2017到2018的时候，他们已经开始有就是很想有这个双语的课程，但是因为我们有这个pandemic 的时候，他们就要停下来，就是没有，但是他们也没有停下来，他们一直在 再找到是什么时间可以再开这个学校，所以他们到2021到2022，他们就已经开到我们第一个就是要起源在我们的 Heading Trail 里面中文的课，还有他们也会开那个西班牙的课程在我们的 Barbara 的学校里面，还有他们就是很想到他们会跟家长，你们在上语就是你们觉得他们读到6年级的时候，我们也会有一个计划，就是很想他们得到在中学的时候，也是在我们的 Canyon Hill 里面，也是很想他们在读我们的中文课，还有在就我们还在我们的 Ayala 大学里面，也是会很喜欢，就是有一个世界语言的课程给他们的。
And so we are actually pretty proud of the current programs that we offer at Ayala High School. You can see that students have an opportunity to participate in various levels of language in American Sign Language, French, Mandarin, and Spanish.
你可以看到我们在我们的 Ayala 的课程里面，你要看到它有不同的语言，有我们的法文啊，还有西班牙，还有我们的中文的，所以是很好的课程。
And we have many students that graduate from Ayala High School that receive the California State Seal of Biliteracy. This is an award that's given to students that are able to show that they are bilingual, biliterate in English as well as in a partner language. And they are recognized at graduation for this seal. And it's our intent to start pathways beginning at the kindergarten level going forward.
你看到我们在 Ayala 大学里面也看到他们毕业，高中毕业也我得到我们的国家双语认证，所以你看到他们我们小孩子在幼稚園里面學的雙語也是很得到他們的成招，跟他們的成長到他們可以畢業，那我們的雙語的課程。
And so if you are interested in learning more about Chinese learning across dual language immersion programs, I encourage you to take a look at this particular resource by Collier and Thomas. This is a resource where it gives examples of successful Mandarin schools across the United States.
如果你们家长很想知道多一点资料，对我们这个双语的课程，你们可以到我这个网上里面去查，就是它会帮助你，还有认识到为什么小孩子对这个双语的课程会很好的。
So at this time, I am available to answer any questions that you may have.
好，现在我们 Dr. Ari 也有时间，你们有什么问题要问他吗？他可以回答你们的。Do they have anything on the chat box?
Hi, question. I do have a question here. I'm David. I have 3 kids here in Chino Hills. Will the bilingual program be offered in Chino Hill High? Is there a plan to offer that?
So there are already some language programs that are offered at Chino Hills High, but the dual language immersion program, that is the intent to, at this point with this cohort, grow it through 12th grade, which means that it would go through Hidden Trails, Canyon Hills, and then Ayala. So if you have children that you would like to come through this pathway, you can apply during that open enrollment, because it doesn't matter where you live in the district, you can still participate in this particular program at Hidden Trails up through Ayala High School.
So does that mean I have to transfer my kids to these schools?
Yes, if you want them to participate in this particular language program at this time.
Okay. But there's limited seating, right? So
yes. So 48 spots each year. and those continue to grow. Once you're in, you are in. And then the intent would be that your child starts at the kindergarten level and sees the program through all the way 12th grade.
Got it. Because I have a 3rd grader, 6th grader, and 8th grader. So
Okay. Yes. So what we're going to be doing is also launching it through across the district, various types of foreign language opportunities or world language opportunities, not necessarily the dual language immersion experience. So I'm welcome to come back and share that when we have more details about other programs that will happen across the district.
Got it. Okay, so as far as the foreign language, does that include Mandarin or no?
Yes.
Okay, so it's already in place in, let's say, Chino Hill High and Townsend.
Dr. Carr, do you know if
yes,
Mandarin?
we have Mandarin at Chino Hills High, Japanese, and French. We have quite a few languages already at Chino Hills High.
Okay, but not in junior high, right?
Not in junior high. That is an area that we will be expanding.
Got it. Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
I think there's one chat. One is, I'd like to know which schools is new DI program will be, and for which age group is that starting coming fall. I think we pretty much answered that question.
Yes, so Hidden Trails will be the only school that will be a DI school for the fall, for entering kindergarten only. And then each year it will expand through 12th grade.
So I have a question, Dr. Ayer. If the students, can they transfer into the program? For example, the open spot in 2nd grade, my kids, can they transfer from different elementary school to the 2nd grade spot? Is that possible, or just cohort, that's it? What's it?
Great question. In the board policy that the board is currently approving, it would be the intent that we are looking at students that want to transfer in have to show competency at the same level as the students who are currently in the class. So in other words, if a student tried to transfer in at the 2nd grade level, those students have already been through 90% of the day in Mandarin instruction. So we would expect that 2nd grader would be at the same proficiency levels as the existing students in Mandarin. So we're looking at assessments for students to be able to take to show proficiency in Mandarin, to be able to test into that open spot.
Very good. Do you want to transfer? Do you want to translate? I translate. OK， 我的问题就是跟那个 Ayers 博士的讲的，就是如果我们的孩子是好比现在不满了吗？48个人的48个学生，如果是我的孩子是2年级，正好2年级，比如说有个位置或者有几个位置，我的孩子能不能从别的小学转到这 Hidden Trail， 从事呢加入这个我们的双语教育？Ayers 博士讲呢，说这样是可以的，但是因为我们是90%的是用中文来教学，10%用英文，那你要转入这个 program 以后可以，但是你必须来你有这个经过考试达到这个读和写的能力。在2年级这个读说写的能力才能够转到这个Hidden Trail 这个加入这个项目，是这么讲的。但是是可以，但是你必须我们孩子必须通过这个考试。现在呢正在准备这个考试，准备什么样的考试能够来衡量我们的学生、我们的孩子这个能力。所以其他的家长还没 OK go ahead.
Any other questions?
No, but I'd like to add that, I have my grandson learning Mandarin, and he's in 4th grade. And I concur with Dr. Ayers. It's so important that we learn the languages from both sides, for the Americans to also to join in and to share languages and world languages, because the global society is so important for our students to think, about cultures all over the world. And that's why I told them if they want their college savings, they have to learn different languages.
你来翻译吧。
OK，就是我们的 Dr. Kai， 他有一个小孩子在4年级，他也是读中文，他也是读我们的中文的课，所以他说也是很好，就是中文跟英文一起上，就是对他们的语言也是很好。但我们就是因为现在我们的是就是一定要多一个语言，就是中文的。
All right， 其他的家长还有没有什么问题的？其他问题的，还是我们回答了你的问题 ？Any parents? I don't see anything in the chat. I guess we did a good job. Okay.
And like Dr. Eric said, there might not be the scope and sequence the way you see it, hidden trails. But our plan is to also have those opportunities for our students in those primary years to learn the languages through special programs that we may offer. And we will keep you posted by any upcoming programs. So watch Dr. Ayers, go to the district website and go to the Equity and Access or the what else? The Parent Engagement Center as well, Dr.
Family
Yes.
Engagement Center.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Keep you posted. Yes.
Yes, there will be definitely more world languages to come. This is an area that we know that we need to continue to provide in Chino Valley and expand our current offerings. So we look forward to being able to share those with you as we launch more programs.
还有我们的 Dr. Ari， 他很高兴，就是他们会看待我们的这个语言方面的，所以他会有很多，现在我们会有很多，他有很多目标要做，就是很想我们在我们的学库里面会更好一点，有不同的课程，还有我们可能会有一个3月给不同的很特别的小孩子也可以上的，对。所以你们一定有时间，你可以去找他，在我们的网上里面，他会 update 你们不同的课程，还是怎么样，在将来里面我们会有什么课程的。
I think Christy Wu. Christy has a question. Whose hands up? Christy, go ahead, Christy.
你好，就是我刚才看了一下那个时程表哈。1年就是开设一个年级，有没有可能能够加快这个速度呢？目前看起来，就是要到2029年的时候才会有中学的这个双语课程开出来。那因为我觉得这个目前看起来这个，我们很有兴趣。可是我的孩子现在是，要升3年级了。那以这样的看起来，就是我一直跟不上。就孩子没有办法进入到这个课程，就是都太晚了。
你说的问题就是你怕他在三年级的时候，他们是70%是中文，
不是，等于是我的孩子现在3年级，如果要过来，他们并没有，就是 Hidden Trail 这边没有3年级的课程 ，right？
哦，对，现在还没有。
那等到他到 Middle School 的时候，也没有，所以我是说，有没有可能接下来？1年可以开设2个年级这样子的速度，就是加快这个开设的速度呢？因为目前看起来到2029年才会有 middle school， 在那个 Canyon Hill 才有。Yeah.
Okay. Dr. Ari, she's asking because her kid is right now she's in a 3rd grader, and during the time that going to the middle school in Canyon Hill, and she says, is it possible to get ready for them early than what your expectation on the year that you say that that's going to be at the Canyon Hill?
Great question. So we have actually received information from California State Board that it is the expectation that we start to grow programs at the middle school level. Originally, world languages needed to be at the high school level, but it is now the expectation that those get expanded to middle school. So junior high, specifically Canyon Hills, and the rest of our junior high schools. So we are in the process of having those conversations to be able to prepare for dual language in 7 years, but we're not going to wait 7 years to build the programs. It is our intent to start building them now so that we have staff in place by the time the students get there.
Is it possible to be early than what you expected on 2029 to 2030?
Yes.
Right?
So right now, the situation that we are in is a teacher shortage. It has been difficult to find bilingual, biliterate teachers right now. And so you will see that this position continues to fly. And as we find teachers who are qualified at the secondary levels, it's our intent to start hiring them as well.
OK， 好，就是我们 Dr. Erin 也是跟我们的学库的 district 里面有商量过，就是我们也是很想很快就是开到这个在我们 Junior High， 但是因为你知道是有很多过程，就是可能我们有找不到很好的老师可以得到他们的那个课程，但是他们也是很想很快就会得到，所以现在你不用怕，他们会在准备，现在不是会等到2029到2030，他很想到早一点就会沉浸到我们那个 Junior High 里面的课程。对，还有什么问题吗？
It looks like we have another hand raised.
I think Gina has a question. Go ahead, Gina.
Yeah, hi. I have a quick question. I know that Hidden Trail is only going to start with the kindergarten, which is my son is in 2nd grade right now. And is the district have any plan, or did you guys hear anything about like other school or a new school might have the dual immersion program under this district?
So I can tell you that at Hidden Trails, because we're starting the dual language program there, it will be an expansion to offer other types of programs for other grade levels so that they're still included in the Chinese cultural that's changing in the school. And so there will be enrichment opportunities provided during the school day as well as after the school day. We are developing those partnerships with community organizations that are willing to come in and support the school to be able to offer some more world language programs. In regards to other schools, if we build another dual language immersion school, the next step will be Spanish. We don't know when and we don't know where, but we know that that's likely our next step.
Okay, thank you.
Mm. 你好，能听到吗？大家好。
可以的，可以的，讲吧。
你好，我是想问一下啊，我女儿她那个到明年就是summer 之后，就是这个年度要在 Hidden Trail 上1年级，已经登记完了。我是想问一下她能不能就是不上1年级，去上那个 Hidden Trail 的双语。
就是到 kindergarten 去是吧？不去，
不是，他是first grade， 但是他报名是 first grade， 所以他不知道可以转到双语的1年级的课程嘛？对吗 ？OK。
他弟弟就是我儿子，他已经是 Hidden Trail 的双语，就已经报完了，就是但他大1岁嘛，所以我就想问一下他能不能不上1年级，上就是转到 kindergarten。对。
Yeah, that's what I think.
Yeah, so it means that she would like to know if she already registered in Hidden Trail for first grader for this coming school year. Is she possible to change it to dual immersion?
So there will not be a dual immersion program for first grade for this year. Her child will always be ahead of the dual language immersion program. However, if there is a younger sibling that will
Mhm,
eventually
yeah.
be coming through, that
Mhm.
sibling gets priority because there is already a sibling at
Yeah.
Hidden Trails.
Okay, so she said that kindergarten, she was registered for kindergarten for dual, but the older one is in first grade.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But he
Yeah.
cannot, is it like next school year, can he be in dual immersion?
He
Class.
cannot be, there will not be a first grade dual immersion class.
Mhm.
But siblings can transfer when students are accepted into program.
OK， 好，OK， 好，妈妈，就是因为他是在1年级在 Hidden Trail， 但是我们今年 Hidden Trail 还没有1年级我们的上语的课程。
对，我的意思就是说，他能不能就是说，比如说我们所说的晚上一年，就是到 kindergarten 去上，就是等于是晚上一年的意义。
你要下，
对，他是这样子，
Okay. Her question is mean that, right? She was registered this school year for first grade in Hidden Trail, but she said that she would like him to be back to kindergarten for dual immersion. Is that possible?
You know, I'm so excited
That
that
she
you guys,
fails all the classes.
yeah,
Try to get into the dual immersion.
right.
We do want to announce that if you have all your questions answered, you're more than welcome to check off. We'll stay around for a couple more questions, but if you're all completed here, you can go ahead and start checking off. Dr. Harris, you want to close them out on that part as well?
Yeah, and we wouldn't encourage you to have your child go back in grade levels. As much as you are excited about the program, we would want them to continue to progress with their same age peers.
OK， 好，妈妈，因为 Dr. Eric 他介绍就是很想他在他的年纪的课程里面，就是如果你再放他在 kindergarten 里面，就是不是他的年纪的课程，对他也不好的。
那我就想问一下，那这样子可以吗？就是你们就是允许这样子做吗？还是？
就是他我觉得他的建议也是对他也不好，妈妈。对，因为你这样子对他将来他到1年级、2年级、3年级的时候，也对他也不好的。对，如果他应该要跟他的年纪的去这样子上课，对他比较好一点。
好，谢谢。
不谢。
Thank you.
Yeah, because she tried to ask, is it possible to do it? I say, Dr. Ari is not encouraged to do it because he should be in appropriate age of his class. It's like his grade to keep continue, not backward like that.
Yes. Thank you.
OK， 那其他家长还有吗？咱们时间很长时间了，还有没有问题？如果继续有问题的话，可以跟那个Ayers 博士的这个部门公平教育部门去联系啊，也有什么事情也如果我要请我转达的话，我也可以转达，好吧？那咱们今天的就是非常的这个成功啊，就这次讲座也非常感谢这个家长们参加啊。所以有什么继续问题，我们还可以继续讨论，继续讲座啊，对我们这个教育的，有家长对教育有什么别的这个想法呢，也可以跟我们联系，那我们可以开更多的讲座，满足大家的要求。OK， all right， 感谢两位主管，感谢Mrs. Tan 来给我们的翻译啊。Thank you, and Dr. Ayers. Thank you, and then Dr. Carr, and thank you, Mrs. Tan, for using your Saturdays and then give us a presentation. We appreciate very much, and thank you very much. And enjoy this weekend. Thank you.
Thank you. Nice to meet all of you.
Yeah. 再见。